All right, in three, two. Oh shit, that hurt. Ow! It just shifted and sat on my balls. Hello and welcome to Men Behind the Curtain, the podcast about everything and nothing all at once. I am Pitt.
I'm Eli. How's it going, y'all?
And I just got one thing to say. Well, fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just going to acknowledge it as the elephant in the room that the election didn't go the way that we were hoping that it would. It's okay. We're going to get through this. I'm going to pick myself back up and we'll engage down the road.
I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stuff for us to engage in as we get closer to the inauguration and swearing in. But until then, yeah, fuck. And be safe, everybody.
Yeah. On a side note, on a more lighthearted note, so love the new intro, by the way. I honestly, I have to give kudos to him because honestly, a lot of the intros he's been doing himself. There were one or two that I had an idea, but I wasn't the one actually doing it. So, kudos to Pitt for putting those together. I didn't think we were going to have alternating ones for each episode.
Well, until somebody out there wants to create an intro for us, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out. I mean, this is what episode 12, I think it is now.
Yeah.
12. I have to literally look at YouTube just to keep track of it, but
that's okay. What 2 episodes ago, I thought we were one behind. So I mean, whatever.
Oh, was that your Steelers mug?
Oh yeah. Taking on the Commanders. Everybody will know the outcome by the time this airs, but yeah, so should be a good game. Commanders actually have a really decent team this year, which is surprising.
Let me take a look. I don't even actively follow, so I never know until the day of who's playing who. Yep. I know Cincy played on Thursday and lost by 1 fucking point.
Well, I was because I was at the lounge that night and everybody is talking about the game, and I'm like, I hope they ended a tie. And guess what? It almost did.
Yeah, because I saw that they were down, it was literally 2 minutes left and it was tied. I'm like,
Well, it's Cincinnati. They're gonna shit the bed anyway. But
if they're bye week.
Oh, bye week for the Browns.
At least we don't lose this week.
I don't know. Somebody's gonna end up getting injured.
Speaking of which, so let me give y'all a little PSA. Don't do what I did where I waited basically entirely too fucking long in life to start taking care of myself because I'm at the gym. I'm at the Y Thursday night. That was leg day. I always hate leg day anyway. And I think I've said this before. On arm day, if I'm sore, I can just kind of relax and just only move my arms when I have to. Well, on leg day, I can't not walk. So, and I thought I was fine. I did the leg curls. I did a leg press. There was one I was going to do was a leg extension, but I didn't because my legs are too wide for that machine. But anyway, so I'm on my way out. I'm leaving. I'm in the parking lot. And then my knee just pop in the middle of my fucking walk. And I damn near hopped one-legged the rest of the way to my car. I was damn near hopping one leg all Thursday night, a good chunk of Friday morning. I'm okay now. I'm limping heavily, but yeah, so y'all be better than me.
So it's called age.
Age is part of it, but if I had been doing this sooner, I would probably be better.
No, because I was doing that stuff sooner and doing the obstacle course races, and no, my body still was like, fuck you. So, but when you're bringing it up, it's I was you know what, hear me talk about arm day and leg day, and it takes me back to that guy who's on TikTok. I can't remember his name, but that bodybuilder, he's like, on Tuesday we do arms because if you want to get a MILF into your coop so you can stick it to her in her poop chute.
Oh God.
I can't remember his name, but I fucking love those because it's just like he can't even get to the punchline, you know. So your arms
Um,
better be swole.
well, I know like what I was doing for a good chunk of time, almost a year, I was just doing straight cardio because I was trying to do like a whole full body workout and I wasn't seeing any difference. When I started doing straight cardio, then I started seeing the needle move a little bit. But I got to where I think I've reached my ceiling on what I can do with cardio alone, which is why I started actually like, doing weights and stuff. But I know one time when I was doing an hour, so I do the elliptical because I can't my knees and ankles cannot fucking handle the impact on the treadmill after a while. And I'm like 45 minutes into my hour run, hour and five if you count the cool down. And like my body just went into fucking power save mode. Like I just gassed out of nowhere. Like I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Oh, what the fuck?
No, I'll tell you one thing is, and I hate this term because it is just a generalized marketing term for workout, whether it's trainers or gyms or anybody, but they use the term core, which basically is your abdomen. But strengthening that up does help with all sorts of things because you're not only getting muscle fatigue, but you're also getting the cardio and just trying to hold a plank for 30 seconds. So,
Oh yeah. So what I'd normally do, whether it's leg or upper body, so I will break it up partly to give myself a break and still be productive, and so that I don't just fucking obliterate one muscle group. So I'll do a chest press, then I'll go do back extension, then I'll do a shoulder press, then I do crunches. And I do the same thing on leg day. So that way I'm giving my arms and my chest a break, but I'm still doing something.
yeah,
And
there's
I do that on leg or arm day.
yeah, there's usually that like chest and triceps, back and biceps, type thought process behind it. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it because I was one of those people that, well, you've seen my biceps and stuff like that. It's like I would go in and do biceps, I don't care, 7 days a week. I would just change up the routine and work the different, the long bicep, and the short head, and things of that nature. I would just go in and hit target the different areas day by day. So,
Yeah.
all right, catastrophe, because we're living in that world now.
Yeah, that's a fair way to put it.
It seems a little light, and I know more were put in here because it was sitting on my desk saying build. All right, first one. Dog breeds that should not exist.
Without question, fucking Chihuahuas. Absolute fucking monsters, fucking demons from another plane. Mean as shit for no fucking reason. I remember one time I'm dropping my daughter off at a friend of hers. Her friend has a Chihuahua. Dog kind of comes up to me, a little curious or whatever. I hold my hand out and I do it palm up, No, little shit just starts barking at me like, bitch.
Watch out, I say.
But meanwhile, just a slight tangent I will add to that. Leave pit bulls alone. They are sweet fucking dogs, y'all. They have a bad reputation because of motherfuckers like Michael Vick, but they're great dogs. They really are.
Somebody heard us talking about dogs. I now have a German Shepherd practically in my lap. So, I agree with the Chihuahuas, but the one that I absolutely despise the most, and it's because my grandmother had one named Gidget, and it was the meanest fucking thing I've ever come across. Fucking poodles, man. And I don't mean the big ones that they shave down to look all fucking fancy to walk around like, oh, we're going to Buffy Skylar's brunch. No, I mean those little fucking mop rag looking fucking poodles that, always look fucking dirty around the nose. And these things are they fucking annoy the piss out of me.
I think I know what my brother's answer to that question would be is a Chow. Or Chow Chow, I think is the official name. So a friend of his, when we were kids, his friend's grandma lived like right around the block from us, and he would go over there. And I shit you not, for some reason that I didn't know back then, as an adult, he was probably antagonizing the dog. The dog would quite regularly bite him in the ass, specifically in his ass.
Well, your brother could use a swift bite or kick to the ass on occasion. So,
yeah, probably. Like, he was one of those that, like, I don't know if my parents beat him too much or not enough. I'm not sure.
give him a slap right to the back of the head.
Right.
All right. Going in for the next one. Hi, Loki. Yeah, okay. I'll pet you since you heard me talking about other dogs that aren't you. Hi. I would show you on camera, but my camera doesn't move all that well. Okay, I need my hand. Can I read this? Can I? Thank you. Good boy. I don't know. I'm about to say German Shepherds because he does that shit all the time. All right. Yep. See, he agrees. Best comfort food.
Comfort food. I don't know, because there's a lot of things that pop into my head right now. Pitt already knows that I have an affinity for like good homemade mac and cheese.
Not white people mac and cheese.
Yeah, no, we use spices. And actually,
not slices of American cheese just topped on.
Oh Christ, no. One thing I will say though is that the way that I make mine in particular, I put my seasonings on the noodles to the point the noodles are delicious before the cheese ever even fucking touches it. So, but if I had to pick a comfort food, I don't know. I might maybe lasagna. I don't know.
Yeah, lasagna's good, especially if you got a good lasagna.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would probably say, I mean, I love my soups and stews. Like a nice hearty beef stew is always good, or like chicken and dumplings or something like that. But hey, I'm going to go with something straight out of the Great Depression. Fucking meatloaf. Fucking meatloaf is like with mashed potatoes and maybe some steamed green beans or corn, whatever. Just fucking meatloaf.
I never developed a taste for it, but I can kind of see that.
You're eating the wrong meatloaf.
I can believe that because, and I've mentioned this before, my mom would always cook things a certain way, mostly to appease my dad, because between me, my brother, and my dad was the one who was going to bitch the most.
And when I mean meatloaf, I don't mean the shit where they fucking top it with ketchup. Fuck that. Right. Ketchup has no place in this fucking world. They're worse than poodles.
Wait, not even fries?
No, not even fries. Mayonnaise on fries.
Ugh. Oh. All right. That's a white strike.
Did you just revoke my brother card?
I mean, look, we've all got a couple of them. I haven't seen fucking, what was it, Menace to Society. I haven't watched that all the way through. There's a couple of movies where I do lose a couple of points. That's just going to be a point that you're going to lose right there.
Well, okay. So the thing is I always balked at it, and I have several European friends, and it's very popular in Europe and stuff like that. And I tried it, and it's surprisingly good. I mean, you have to like mayonnaise to begin with, but yeah, no, ketchup is evil. It's just evil. I mean, you know, and you know me, the only way I really like tomatoes is, you know, like fire roasted tomatoes and like a good chili or something like that. And that's about it. I mean, marinara on a pizza, it's got to be from a certain place, or it's got to be something good. But I'm also, when it comes to even put it on pasta or spaghetti, you know, of that nature or whatnot, it's like, I'm not really big on tomato sauce, you know, whatsoever. I mean, for me, it's too acidic, and I just don't like the taste of tomatoes all that much. So yeah, no ketchup. It's evil. Get rid of it. All right. Cold weather. I think I already know where you stand on this one.
Excuse me. I like cooler weather. I like weather like this right now. I like wearing a hoodie. Um, Now as far as cold weather goes, um, and if Jess ever actually watches this, she's not gonna agree with me on this one because she loves snow. I know that she does. I I like it on the grass, but motherfuckers can't drive right in good weather. So then you add snow to it, and you have just a mobile shit show. um, the only thing about cold weather that I will say, and I've said this for years, I can always add layers to stay warm. In hot weather, there's only so far I can go before I get arrested.
I'm a cold weather person. Not too cold. I don't like the below freezing temperatures or whatnot. I love a good like 40, 45 degrees, you
Oh,
know.
that's fuck
Um,
yeah.
you know, perfectly great, fall day, things of that nature. But cold weather, I'm with Jess. I absolutely love the snow. And the more the merrier. For me down here, it doesn't snow. I think you guys got like two
Not
good
anymore.
snows. You guys got like two good snows the entire time I've lived in this area, and they lasted like 4 or 5 days because the temperature got up to like 60 degrees and melted everything. But
Uh,
that's one of the funny things is because, and I know why you don't like the roads is because down here nobody knows how to take care of the roads. It's like, oh no, there's snow. I got to go buy my milk. I got to go buy my bread. Because snowpocalypse and stuff like that. And it's like where I grew up, if there was 2 feet of snow on the ground, you still went to school. There were plows on the front of the buses.
Well, the part that confuses me about it is that a majority of the people who live in this area have lived here for decades. So we remember real winter, real snow, and shit like that. So when I see people who are struggling with, flurries, I'm like, what the fuck is the matter with you? First of all, we're in the part of the country this is supposed to happen. Hasn't been happening much lately, but it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm confused.
I don't know. See, like I learned to drive in Western Pennsylvania on mountain roads in the middle of friggin' winter in a conversion van. Now, if you ever driven on the roads in Western Pennsylvania, even without snow, there's no guardrails. The roads are only wide enough for like maybe a car and a quarter, car and a half at best. And then you add 2 feet of snow on top of that the roads haven't been plowed because they're mountain roads and they can't get the trucks up there because they'll just slide right off the mountain and down into somebody's house. That's where I learned to drive. So if I can't fucking drive, then everybody else is a 100 times worse driver than I am.
The way that I've always explained it to my kids, specifically with my daughter, because she's almost Jesus fuck, she's almost 19 here in about a week. Um, so we're still trying to get her driving. She's just always more focused on other things, is why it hasn't happened. But the thing that I always tell her, and I tell my son, is drive drive with the expectation that everyone else is a fucking moron. Because if you expect them to be stupid, you're going to be a little bit more cautious and give them more grace. And if I expect you to be stupid and you do something stupid, then I'm at least a little bit more prepared for it. Whereas if you're stupid and I was not expecting that, now we're both fucked.
Yeah. So for those out there who are watching who haven't learned to drive yet, everybody on the road is stupid, including those that do know how to drive. All right. And our last one. Your weirdest interest or hobby?
A weirdest interest. Here's the thing is that I'm not even really sure that it's weird. Like, obviously I've talked about I watch a lot of different TV and stuff like that. I've recently started getting into anime a little bit, or for the purist anime. Um, it's not really a weird hobby though. I guess maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, definitely it would have been. because anime was not considered mainstream. But I'm not heavy into it though. I don't watch fucking like Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that. I know of it, but I've more dabbled. Like I love Castlevania. I've mentioned it to you before. Like Castlevania is fucking awesome. Um, I watched Blood of Zeus on Netflix. What's another one I watched? I can't remember off the top of my head. I've checked out a couple of them. It's not really a weird hobby. Honestly, probably the weirdest hobby I have is this.
Oh, let's see. Weirdest hobby I have. I mean, I don't know if it's weird because everybody has a thing for collecting, but I collect lighters. Whether it's Zippos or, cigar torches or whatnot. I don't know what it is. I just collect lighters. Oh, it just hit me. I haven't done this in years, but I used to go around and during Yule, or as most people call it, Christmas, during the Yule season, the nativities that they set out?
Yeah. I think my neighbor is doing one.
Yeah. I used to go and steal the baby Jesus from the nativity. So with one of my ex-mother-in-laws, she used to have this nativity put out. And for what it is, it was very beautiful. I think it cost her a pretty penny. And I stole baby Jesus. And she was going all over the house trying to find it. And she's like, oh my God, they took baby Jesus. Baby Jesus is missing. And I wrapped it and gave it to her as a Christmas present, but I didn't put who it was from. And she's like, which one of you did? So yeah, I think that was the last time I stole baby Jesus because it was almost like fulfillment. But it's like I would just go around taking baby Jesus from nativity scenes. It's a good thing I never visited a live nativity scene because that would have got really awkward.
I guess, yeah, that's one thing. You mentioned how you used to collect lighters, which some of them are pretty cool, and I can understand that, especially like the Zippos or flip up ones. I guess, yeah, I do collect things, but it's like oddly specific. When I was a kid, I used to collect a bunch of different keychains. The best keychains that I have right now are my God of War ones.
Nice.
Which Blades of Chaos, Mjolnir, and of course the Leviathan axe, which is his main weapon in the new.
I was going to say, is that a Mjolnir up there? Nice.
Yeah, because Thor is a main villain in the newest game, Ragnarok.
Thor is not a villain. Just like to point that out.
Well, just like I'm aware of some of the changes that they made with the lore, such as not Baldric, that's not the right name. Balder is was God of Light or something like that. Like he's a very in lore. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but when I was looking it up, like he's supposed to be a very good-hearted entity and all this that.
Yeah, he's Jesus.
Balder in 2018 God of War, which was the first Norse game, is a fucking lunatic. After his mother, he sees it as a curse. She saw it as a protection. How he has no physical sensation. He cannot feel anything. And he's been like that for 100 winters, and it drove him mad. But I love this one because like this is very detailed. Like you can see the jewels and everything on here. This is fucking cool. Here's the other thing about this, and hey, this is noise suppressed, so it may or may not pick anything up. But let me show you how heavy this is. So I'm just going to drop a pen here on my table, right? Could you hear that?
Yep, heard it just fine. Jesus Christ.
This is fucking heavy. I love that though.
Wow. That was actually like dropping a real hammer.
Right. That's fucking heavy. And actually, like, so the other ones here that I have, the Blades of Chaos and my Leviathan axe, for any of y'all who follow me on any other social medias, you'll notice like I have that custom Funko Pop that my wife bought me. So the one that she bought it with, you can get different things that come in the hands. One is a video game controller, and then she just got like a wad of cash. I don't know why she did the cash. I think it was just a random thing, but you can take those out. So those of you who follow me on social media, you'll notice I have one picture holding the axe, and then I have another one where I'm holding the blades.
Nice. Speaking of Funko Pops, have you seen that they've recently released where you can Funko yourself as a Hogwarts house? Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah. So you can actually go in and either, whatever house you are, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, you can actually apply those features to the Funko Me. And there's like I think there's a lion that comes with the Gryffindor, and I think there's a possibility for like adding a Hedwig or anything like that. Like with Slytherin,
Nice.
there's a snake and a few other things. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And it's like, damn it, now I got to go do like 20 more Funko Me's. But since we were sitting here talking about Mjolnir and Thor and whatnot, a little bit of a tie-in since Thor has made an appearance in the Marvel Universe, best known as Thor. But have you seen the trailers for Thunderbolts?
Yes. And also one other thing, I just wanted to show this off before we go a little further. We were talking about things that we like to collect. You've seen them in person, but anybody watching this, you may not have. But I like to collect very weird shit. But I want to point out these are stainless steel. These are actual stainless steel. These are fucking heavy. But I kind of wish a motherfucker would, because I kind of want to like. But yes, Thunderbolts. So I have been waiting for this movie for a good while. And I like how they're bringing back certain characters like Ghost, who were kind of forgotten about. Um, Now Ghost in the comics is kind of a minor villain, but she, and honestly, it was a male at first. They changed it to a woman for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I know it's a woman in the VR Iron Man game, which is really fucking fun, by the way. So I like that they're bringing her back. Plus, I like that actress. I forget what episode of Black Mirror she did, but it was a really good one. Might have been Hang the DJ. I'm not sure, but I love it. I love David Harbour as Red Guardian.
Oh yeah.
Even though he's a fucking putz in the part. I cannot get enough of Yelena.
Florence Pugh is phenomenal.
I love her in this role. I think one of the only other things that I've seen her in, of course, she did Oppenheimer, which didn't seem like, wasn't kind of a big role, but Midsummer, that was a really, really good performance from her. I love her natural charisma as Yelena. It doesn't seem like she has as much sense of humor in this movie, but maybe that's just how the trailers, maybe they're just trying to stitch together like the action serious parts.
Yeah.
I love that they're bringing back U.S. Agent John Walker. It blew my fucking mind when I realized that actor, Wyatt Russell, was Kurt Russell's kid.
I didn't know that.
But now that you know that, looks just fucking like him, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, can we get a new Snake Plissken?
Honestly, those movies are old enough that I would not be mad at a reboot.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great.
I would not be mad at that, and I think he could actually do pretty damn good at that. But yeah, he also had an episode of Black Mirror, Playtest. That's where I first was introduced to that actor. And that's a great fucking episode. But Black Mirror as a whole is usually kind of a mind fuck. But of course, Bucky. I think almost universally as Marvel fans, we love Bucky.
Sebastian Stan just takes that role and he adds so much character and emotion into that role. And it's, if you remember the comics, there's not much like depth, to the Winter Soldier. And he takes this to an entirely new level.
So here's the one thing I love about Sebastian Stan doing the role is that he knows the comics well enough. When they did the first movie, when they said, you've got the part of Barnes, he said, does that mean I get to play the Winter Soldier? So I love, he brought that in with him. And I love that.
Yep. Oh, apparently I have a delivery or something like that. The dogs are my doorbell.
Let's see, who else do we now? Only thing with John Walker, U.S. agent, um, I don't think he's supposed to carry a shield.
Uh, I'm trying to remember the comics because wasn't it originally the Dark Avengers is where U.S. Agent first appeared?
I'm not 100%, but the thing is that the Thunderbolts were originally a villain group, and they kind of became like anti-heroes. But actually, I take that back. I'm looking at it right now, and he did have, well, he originally was supposed to be the new Captain America. So his story in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that was accurate. So he was originally okay. So yeah, we got one here. I'll go ahead and share my screen here for a second. Um Share screen. Yeah, window. Here we go. So this is him fully US agent on this comic book cover, and he does have a shield right here. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so that is comic accurate. Um,
Yeah.
but while we're talking about that, and because he was supposed to be the original Captain America, I also do want to talk about the new Captain America trailer, Brave New
Yes.
World. So
Bringing in Harrison Ford at that too, as oh shit, what's his name? Basically the Red
uh,
Hulk.
yep, and this is actually one point that I was going to make. I am nitpicking here. I'm not complaining per se, but they are doing this a little bit out of order because where the Thunderbolts came from as a group was his nickname was Thunderbolt Ross. So doing a Thunderbolts movie without Thunderbolt Ross is a little weird, but I digress. Um, I was so excited because after William Hurt died and they recasted the role, I'm like, I'm like, you could have just let the character go. If you recasted him, that means you're gonna do the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
I said that as soon as Harrison Ford was announced for it, and I love that they are doing it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is we may not even see the Red Hulk in the new Captain America movie.
Oh no, no,
He
he's in the
may,
trailer
oh, the Red Hulk's in the trailer? Did I
in
miss it?
full. I
Oh.
just watched the trailer this morning.
Oh, well shit, then I missed it then.
Hmm. Oh, you see
Ah.
him in full. Because somebody even makes a comment that, oh, when did they? Since when are they red now? But I highly, highly, highly doubt that we are going to get red She-Hulk. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, what would be great is all of a sudden because when we say red, I keep getting the Venom throwback and like, oh shit, it's a red one.
I love that. I have not watched the new movie. I'm probably gonna wait till I can just watch it for free. But yeah, oh, that is a red one. Like,
Yeah. But I
uh,
mean, the thing, well, Venom is apparently doing very well in the box office. I think it did like
really,
133 million or something like that so far, or something along those lines. All I know is it's leading in the box office. So,
From what I'm hearing, the whole thing with Null was a little bit of a fake out because it doesn't sound like he was ever actually like really in the movie, but for like maybe two scenes.
mm,
Um, I'm a little disappointed in that. And from what I'm hearing, honestly, they should have been setting up, they should have been hinting at Null from the very first movie. But to be fair, they probably didn't think they would get this far.
that's
So
true. That's true. And we're still looking at U.S. Agent.
yeah, no, I was going to switch over. So one thing I do want to talk about with the new Captain America movie, um, his I loved his white suit in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier at the end. Part of why I loved it is that this is what he looks like in the comics. So his suit at the end of Captain America and the Winter Soldier is to me probably a top 5, if not top 3 most accurate comic book adaptation suits I have ever fucking seen. Because this right here is what he looked like at the end of the show.
Yeah.
I am not super crazy about the blue suit that they are giving him. You can see it here a little bit, but it's a little shaded. Oh well, here's a good one. Actually, is that a Photoshop? No, that's an actual
Mm.
picture. I'm not crazy about this. It's not that the suit isn't clean. It is. It's fucking clean. But this suit feels like he is still trying to be Steve.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little too Steve Rogers for me.
I don't like that because, well, that's a toy, but it's the same suit. That was something totally different. It's enough. It's still Captain America, but this wasn't Steve. So this I thought was a really great separation. And I think that the blue suit, as good as it looks, I think is going in the wrong direction. But
Yeah.
one thing that was really fucking cool though, you see him in
Oh,
the new trailer. He has a helmet, which I'm assuming is like a high speed thing, but that helmet actually comes apart like nanotech.
that one, third one down on the right, it looks a little like Ant-Man's helmet.
I think that that's actually from Endgame because it does look like Ant-Man's helmet, but I think that is more or less I think what they were wearing when they were going through the quantum zone.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
This seems the closest to it, just without the color.
Looks like Cobra Commander.
Yeah, it kind of does. Um, but actually, um, also another thing about it. So yeah, you get to see him as Red
Oh
Hulk in
shit.
full.
That oh, bring up the screaming one, either the first one or the penultimate one on top row. No, the face, the front. Yeah. Holy shit.
That's really, really good motion capture because that does look like Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Holy shit.
My only disappointment, and I'm using the word disappointment very loosely, is I know he has comic book appearances without the mustache, but I'm used to seeing Red Hulk with the mustache. Where the fuck? Although, even though I'm not finding it here. Now, I understand they actually address this in the very first trailer because Harrison Ford, as Ross, he said, they told me to lose this mustache or lose the election. So, because as you can see here, for those of y'all who don't remember, he did have a mustache originally.
Yes.
And again, I am not finding it, but I know I've seen comic book depictions where he was Red Hulk with a mustache. Oh my god, that was a Lego one. Where did the one thing I do want to point out, so for those of y'all who are not aware of this, who maybe don't follow the comics or anything, I want you to be aware how much of a problem Red Hulk actually is. So here's the difference. Regular OG Green Hulk. You have if you're going to fight him, you have to finish the fight as quickly as possible. That is why in Age of Ultron, Tony is trying to just knock him out because the longer the fight goes, the angrier he gets and the stronger he gets. This is also partly why Thanos beat him because number one, Thanos was fighting with intelligence, like he's hitting him in the kidney, he's hitting weak points, but he finished it quickly. A long drawn out fight is going to go in the Hulk's advantage. Red Hulk, on the other hand, he quite literally burns. There's actually a shot in the trailer, like his hand is on the table, and you can see it's starting to like scorch. Um, Red Hulk quite literally will set shit on fire. He burns out quickly. So Red Hulk can defeat the Hulk, but he's got to do it fast. And I believe Red Hulk is actually capable of jumping into orbit. So
I know
Red Hulk,
there's some strength differences and agility differences between green and red. I do know that. Just like there's differences between green, red, and gray.
oh shit. All right, I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Um, I kind of hope this is real. So one thing that this is one of the posters here. It, now I want to point out Sam is not enhanced. shield or no shield, he cannot take that punch. Although I will say Sam apparently never skips leg day because he should break his fucking legs every time he lands or when he drop kicks a motherfucker from fucking 40 feet up. But he's perfectly cool. But so yeah, this was a teaser poster they did a while back where you can see him holding the shield.
Wow.
But this is what I was saying a second ago. I kind of hope that's real.
Well, you know how they do the posters and the trailers and stuff like that. They want to, rope you in, and then you never see that actually happen in the actual film.
I really hate when they do that shit. One of the biggest offenders that I ever saw was in Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, the one with Andrew Garfield, because I remember Sony shit the bed with that marketing so badly, because I remember they gave essentially the whole movie away for free. That pissed me off. But then in the trailer, they set up something like Oscorp had him under surveillance, which never fucking happened in the movie. I absolutely hate when they do that kind of shit. Oh, that might be real. All right, I'm gonna share my screen one more time. So that picture where he's holding the pieces of it, that might be real because look at this.
Huh.
And you can see it cracking.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Okay, that's definitely fake, but that's hilarious.
Well, there's the mustache for you.
Yep, but actually, I think that's more a mock-up of William Hurt. So yeah, that's obviously fake. They're supposed to get a new Falcon too, because the kid who got the wings, or at least what was left of the wings after the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, he does become Falcon in the comics. So I guess he's going to repair them, and I do believe he is in this movie. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Oh, I finally started Agatha all along. I'm on episode 4. I've gotten up to the second version of Down the Witch's Road, the one where what's her name, Lorna did it as like an actual song. First off, Down the Witch's Road, honestly, that song kind of fucking hits. Like, I kind of fuck with it. But I prefer the original version, not the Lorna's version. But I could tell Catherine Hahn is absolutely loving the role. You can tell she is.
And I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more of Catherine Hahn, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. And I'm not going to spoil it in case anybody else has not started watching it yet. But in light of how I know the show ends, or at least one of the characters at the end, and with some of the hints that Aubrey Plaza has already dropped at this point, like when they asked her, like, "Are you a Green Witch?" and she said, "No, I'm the Green Witch." I already know where her character is going, but it's pretty interesting. And honestly, this is just strengthening. I mentioned this before. I'm very much getting to like Aubrey Plaza as a performer.
The biggest twist in the whole show that you don't see coming happens in the final episode.
Okay. I think probably one of the bigger reveals that we've gotten so far is where Aubrey Plaza, or Rio, as she's known, at least at the moment, told Agatha that was not her son, which I never thought he was. It was kind of a cool fake out to think that he could have been her son, but I know that Wiccan is in the show, and he looks just like Wiccan. He hasn't been confirmed as Wiccan as far as I've gotten in the show, but honestly, I have like literally no doubt in my mind that's him. And for the comic fans, Wiccan is Wanda's son.
Yeah. Well, Funko spoiled it for everybody before the show even started, but
oh well, fuck y'all then.
But yeah, no, a lot of twists, turns, reveals, and like I said, very last episode, the one you don't see coming, and you're like, what?
Oh, and also, I don't know the actress's name, but Sharon, or the same woman who plays Kitty in that '70s show.
Yeah.
I fucking loved just watching her vibe with these women as they're singing down the Witch's Road, and she's just all into it, not knowing a goddamn word, not knowing who any of these women are. She's just fucking in.
Yeah. Oh, you to see the live performance that they did on stage
I
at
did.
the Disney. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, and somebody in the comments section was talking about they think that a performer is at their best. They're having the most fun when they get to flex as a performer. Because what Catherine Hahn did, the singing and everything, yes, I am aware that she probably did have some voice coaching or something like that. But coaching aside, not everybody can do that.
Uh, on her resume, singing is one of the talents that she actually has on her resume. So she's actually a gifted singer.
Okay. Well, I mean, she gets to show off a couple different traits and everything.
Yeah,
And
especially the very revealing, V cut.
yeah, I will say that. So the episode that I just got through where they're doing that version of it looks like a fucking seven. Well, actually, Wiccan was saying that they look like an album cover waiting to happen. No, I don't know if I looked Catherine Hahn or Aubrey Plaza in the eyes one time during all of that.
Yeah, no, there's very, very risque clothing, but phenomenal performances from both actresses, the entire cast for that matter.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I loved WandaVision, and what was nice about Agatha all along is it picked up right where WandaVision left off and just delivered a phenomenal show. Just it's something for me, it's one of the better of the Marvel Cinematic Universe television shows that have been on Disney.
I'll agree with that. What I love about the character just itself, just the writing and everything, is I love a complex character. I love somebody who technically she is a villain, but she's not like this big bad. She's not trying to conquer the world or anything. So she's honestly, like, if you leave her the fuck alone, you'll be fine. She's one of
Yeah.
those kind of villains, and I honestly love that. But she does have some good streaks in her. And like I said, I love characters like that. Not to detour a little bit, the example that I always give whenever I talk about the kind of characters that I like in Game of Thrones, one of my absolute favorite characters was Baelish, because was Baelish a shitty person? Absolutely. Was he a fucking greaseball, like just the worst, the dredge of humanity? Hell fucking yes, he was. But you never knew what he was going to do next.
Oh, absolutely. And again, final episode, you find out there is a method to Agatha's madness.
I can believe that.
And it's going to be one of those things that be like, it actually gives you a new perspective on the character completely.
Okay.
So
and actually, you know what? On one thought that I just had is what they said in the sound booth, where Aubrey Plaza said something about like, "Oh, I get my bodies" or something along those lines. It actually was very reminiscent to me of going back to Castlevania, Death, because when he first reveals himself, and you know what, I'm just gonna go. Spoiler alert: Castlevania is a few years old at this point. If you wanted to watch it, you'd have watched it by now. So, Death, Malcolm McDowell, he initially introduces himself as a vampire named Varney. He's a very obnoxious, very annoying fucking guy. But he later reveals himself to be Death. And he's not Death per se, he's more of a soul reaper. But the way he explains it to this one guy, he said, "I'm not a vampire as you understand it. Death is my meat." And Aubrey Plaza's line right there about "I get my bodies" was really fucking close to that line. Like, not just like it, they didn't copy it, but it was close enough that I could make that mental connection. Like, I like that. I like that.
yeah. All right. So now that we spoiled a few things for you, yeah. Not going to spoil any more at this moment because we're about out of time. So we'd like to thank you for being here with us. And again, share, like, subscribe. Doesn't cost you a single thing, as Eli would always say. Everything below is where you can find us.
Yep. Thanks for watching thus far, guys. Again, feel free to check us out. All of our socials and everything will be in the description. Just follow the link tree. But other than that, y'all take care. Be safe out there. Y'all have a good one.
All right. See you next Friday.